This is brother Baker. Well, my sheep no, heard my voice, and this is part two, part two, Matthew chapter 17, uh, verse 4. Then Peter said unto Jesus, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If thou want, let us make here three tabernacles, one for thee, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. While he yet spoke, behold, a great cloud overshadowed them. And behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. In other words, this voice come from heaven, talking to the disciples. Hear ye him. And my sheep heard my voice, you know. And when the disciples heard it, they fell on their face and were so afraid. And Jesus touched them and said, Arise and be not afraid. And when they had lift up their eyes, they saw no man except Jesus only. And they come down from the mountain. Jesus charged them, saying, Tell the vision to no man until the Son of Man be risen from the dead. And I'm going over to John 3, verse 16. Remember, my sheep heard my voice, and they followed me, and strangers would not follow. Now, if you don't hear the voice of God, if you don't hear the voice in God's word when He's talking, you won't be able to follow Him. Here's another. For God so loved the world, He gave His only begotten Son, that who shall believe He should not perish, but have everlasting life. Now, if the sheep don't hear the voice, they won't get anything. For God sent not His Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through Him might be saved. Might be saved. Might be saved. Saved. And I'm going to St. John 9, 1, St. John 9, 1 through 49, 1 through 41. As Jesus passed by, he saw a man who was blind from his birth. And the disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? And Jesus answered, Neither has this man sinned, nor his parents, but the works of God should be manifest in him. I must work the work of him that sent me while it's day. Night comes when no man can work. As long as I'm in the world, I'm the light of the world. Jesus telling me, as long as I'm in the world, I'm a light. And Jesus answered, Neither had this man sinned, nor his parents. Me, not sinning that he should be blind. And then Jesus, I must work the work of him that sent me while it's day. The night comes and can no man work. Can no man. As long as I'm the light of the world. When he had thus spoken, he spit on the ground and made clear the spirit, and know the eyes of the blind man with the clay. And said unto him, Go watch in the pool of Siloam, which is interpreted sent. He went his way, therefore come watch, come watch and sin. Watch and come sin. The neighbor therefore that which before had seen that he was blind said, Is not this who said to me? Some said, This is he, others said, He is like, but he said, I'm he. Therefore they said unto him, How was their eyes open? How was their eyes open? He answered and said, A man is called Jesus made clay and opened my eyes. He answered and said, A man is named Jesus made clay and opened my eyes and said, Let me go to the pool so long and watch. And I went and watched, and I received sight. I received sight. Then said they to him, Where is he? He said, I know not. Then they brought the Pharisees and him the oft time was blind. And it was the Sabbath when Jesus had made the clay to open his eyes. And again the Pharisees asked him, how he received his life. He said unto them, He put clay upon my eyes, and I watched you see. He said, Put clay on my eyes, and I watched you see. Therefore said some of the Pharisees, This man is not a God, because he keepeth not the Sabbath. Others said, How can a man that's a sinner do such miracles? And there was a bridge among them. They said to the blind man again, What says that he has opened their eyes? He said, He is a prophet. The blind man said, He's a prophet. The Jews therefore did not believe concerning that he had been blind and received his sight, until they called the parents and him to receive his sight. Then they asked his parents, saying, Is this your son whom you say was born blind? And how did he now see? His parents answered them and said, We know this our son, that he was born blind. But what means he see, we know not. Or who has opened his eyes, we know not. He is our age, ask him. He shall speak for himself. The parents said little because they were scared of the Jews. The Jews already told that any man did confess that Jesus was Christ, they would put him out of the synagogue. These words spoke to his parents because they feared the Jews, but the Jews had already agreed that any man did confess that he was Christ, he should be put out of the synagogue. Therefore said his parents, he's our age, ask him. He's our age, ask him. Again they called the man that was blind and said to him, give God the praise. We know this man is a sinner. Give God the praise. We know this man is a sinner. He answered, the blind man. He answered and said, whether he be a sinner, I know not. I know not. But one thing I know, whereas I was blind, now I see. Then they say to him again, how did he to thee? How opened their eyes? How opened their eyes? He answered them, I told you already. Did you not hear it? Will you also be a disciple? You that heard, will you also be a disciple? And they rebelled and said unto him, you are a disciple, but we are Moses' disciples. We know that God has spoken to Moses, and for this fellow we know not whence he is. And the man answered and said unto him, now here's a marvelous thing. Do you know what he is? He has opened my eyes. Now we know that God hears not sinner, but if any man be a worship God and does his will, him he hears. Since the world began, was it not heard that any man open the eyes of one that was born blind? If this man was not a God, he could do nothing. That's what the blind man said. See, the blind man standing up for what he's standing up for the truth. They answered and said unto him, thou was altogether born in sin. Those teacher, and they cast him out. What do they know? They was born in sin too. See, this is what you call a righteous people, a self-righteous person. And God helps them. He hates self-righteous. He was self-righteous. They were just much sinners as he was. Cause they were same. They were in the same shape he was. And they cast. Then answered and said unto him, those altogether born in sin, those teach us, and they cast them out. And Jesus heard they had cast them out, and when he found, he said to him, dost thou believe on the Son of God? Now this for everybody all this for everybody who is listening to these tapes. And Jesus heard they had cast them out, and he said, and when he had found, he said to him, does thou believe on the Son of God? Now Jesus asked this man, does you believe on the Son of God? He asked every one of y'all who listened to this tape, do you believe on the Son of God? Do you believe on the Son of God? Have you confessed Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior? Or do you believe on the Son of God? He asked this man, do you believe on the Son of God? Listen to this man answer. And he answered and said, who is he, Lord, that I might believe on him? Maybe you don't know who he is. Maybe you don't know who he is, that you might believe on him. See, this man, hey, look, same thing Jesus said. This man, he's saying to everyone who listens to this tape right now. Do you believe on it? He answered and said, who is the Lord that I might believe on him? And Jesus said unto him, thou hast both seen him, and it is he who talk with thee. Now, he talking to everybody. Everybody who look at this word and see Jesus in it, he talking to you. He talking to you. He talking to you through the man, but he making the same, he talking to you just as well as he talking to the man. I'm going to read this here. And Jesus said unto him, thou hast both seen him, and it will talk with thee. So he's talking to everybody who understands my voice, right? And he said, Lord, I believe, and he worshiped him. Lord, I believe, he worshiped him. And Jesus said, for judgment I come into this world, that they which see not might see, and they which see might be made blind. Then some of the Pharisees which with him heard these words, and said unto him, are we blind also? See, are we blind also? And Jesus said unto them, if you were blind, you should have no sin. But now you say, we see, therefore your sin remains. I'm going to stop right here.